Scott, thank you for being here again in Soto Real Estate Podcast. And congratulations for your new home, for your
Thank
new
you.
beginning in San Miguel de Allende.
Thank you.
So today we're here not to talk only about real estate, but to talk about what it really feels to relocate your life
hmm
to San Miguel de Allende, because this wasn't your first experience with real estate.
hmm Yeah, my background, I'm actually a retired real estate broker for 20 years. And I retired at the end of 2024, December 2024. And at that time, I really didn't know what I was going to do when I got all grown up. um, and, worked out with my financial planner that could probably take a year off in California, but then I probably would have to go back to work. And having worked my whole life ever since I was a little kid, after I retired, I learned really quickly that I liked being retired and didn't want to go back to work. So, I was just kind of wondering what to do, where to go. And I watched YouTube, and one day a podcast came up on San Miguel, and I was like stunned at how beautiful the city was. And I had no idea this existed in Mexico, because I really love Europe. I love the time I spent in Europe, but Europe is just so far away from the United States. And so when I discovered San Miguel, I was blown away. And so I researched it for about 4 or 5 months online, which is where I found you on YouTube. And then I came out here in July of 2025 for the first time. That's when we met also.
Yes.
And for the minute I got out of my taxi, driving through Centro to get to my hotel, I was just like in Disneyland, but it's real.
with the song Funky Town as background.
Yeah. And so I got on my taxi and I walked up to my hotel, and I just fell in love with the city. It was just, and I've traveled all over, but this is the only place that I actually felt like I could live here. Growing up in San Francisco Bay Area, this is the first time I've left, and it just San Miguel just has this energy about it, and it just has this feeling about it. And so, I just absolutely fell in love with it. And it's almost hard to describe what San Miguel is other than stunningly beautiful. It just has an energy. The people here seem to be like-minded. The combination of expats and the local culture and a local, community, it's just blends together really well. The Mexican people here in San Miguel are just so incredibly friendly, and they celebrate everything. So if you want to be somewhere where there's beautiful celebrations, this is definitely the place to be. And so I knew right away, the first visit that I came here, that this was going to be my future home. And thanks to you, when I met with you that week, we had breakfast right in Centro. And the reason I chose you, and I had researched other realtors, was just because, well, when you spoke English, and that was very helpful moving to another country speaking English, because I don't speak a lot of Spanish yet. But your knowledge of San Miguel and your lack of pressure and your personal touch, and we just connected. And I've been in real estate for a long time, and so to me it was very transactional. But you was very personal and very friendly. And again, for me, coming from another country, not knowing anything about San Miguel, being able to trust somebody who knew the community and understood what I wanted and what I needed right away, especially after we started looking at some homes and you saw what I liked and what I didn't like, and you just I connected with you right away, and you knew exactly what I looked for. And lo and behold, less than a year later, this is where I'm at, and couldn't be happier that we found this house and this community. What I most appreciated with you was, after meeting with you several times, was touring all of San Miguel and all the different neighborhoods and understanding the different neighborhoods, because they are very different, and there's different energies and there are different people in the different in the neighborhoods. And then you understood my price range, and finding this home in the San Rafael neighborhood was perfect for me because it has everything that I wanted. The big courtyard, the rooftop, the views of Centro, but not the pricing of Centro. Yet I'm only a 6-minute walk away from Centro.
Yes.
And then for me, being in Centro was very comfortable because there's a lot of expats and a lot of people speak English, which was very helpful because I don't speak Spanish yet. But leaving California, I didn't want to move back to California. And so San Rafael for me was very attractive because there's more locals here. There's more Mexicans here, not as many expats. And so I like that. There's just something about the Mexican culture and the Mexican people that just feels very comfortable.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I love living in this neighborhood, and I can't wait to speak Spanish so I can actually have long conversations with my neighbors.
Yeah, and you will.
But just sitting on the rooftop here, in the daytime or at night, and watching the people here and the different cultures and all the celebrations, yeah, San Miguel is it's very different than California was, and it feels very comfortable. And for me, I mean, it was less than a year process moving from one country to another country, but it was seamless and smooth and very relaxing and very, very comfortable. And it just made sense.
Yes.
And a lot of that has to do with you.
Thank you. Thank
With you helping me understand San Miguel and the cultures here and the different neighborhoods, and again, your lack of pressure, but just because you're the kind of agent who just wanted to help me, which was very genuine.
I appreciate this, and I think that's part of our vision in Soto Real Estate, because as you could notice, we are very structured. When you reached out, we basically, if we go step by step, we had the consulting meeting via Zoom, and I think that also made an impact on you, because you said it, like the feedback we gave you afterwards, and then all the curated list that we gave you had to do, or was based on what you communicated to us that you wanted, because that's our vision. We wanted to understand first what you want,
Yep.
how you want it, and why you want it, because the why is so important. Why
Yes.
you're moving here,
Yes.
what are your expectations, the lifestyle that you want to have.
Yep.
So that is our baseline to be able to start our journey. And then you hired one of our services, which is the real estate immersion tour, and that was very productive, because we spent I remember the first day looking around, but we were focused already on the neighborhoods that were making sense to what you wanted. And then we saw already the properties that you wanted. Then you kept coming, and I remember you made the decision, like the second time you said, like, you know what, I'm putting my house for sale on the market in
Yeah.
California, in Sacramento. So I'm gonna let you know. But you kept coming. We kept seeing the properties, connecting. Also trying to share with you uh, even my personal passions with what I feel proud about Mexico, which is
Yes.
music and art and
Yep.
our cuisine and stuff. So it was an amazing time. It was actually months.
19 months?
No, not 9 months.
9 months, yeah.
It was a
It was
process
less
of
than a
9
year,
months,
yeah.
which is like a baby, basically. And then I'm going step by step, so people can understand the way we work. And then at some point we found this house, and we were like, okay. At the same time, your place in California was on the market, but it was slow at first. It wasn't moving so fast as we wanted. And I remember this crucial point when you had already accepted an offer in California, and you wanted actually to wait until you were completely done and then
Right.
come here. But there was the risk of there was someone who was looking at the property and had an intention to put an offer, right? Let you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pressure, but this is what's happening. So the way we want things to be done regarding paperwork, legal paperwork, like from your residence to the permits to the things that you have to put in order to be able to do the purchase. We wanted this to be soft. That's the word we use in Soto Real Estate, like soft. Like
Yes.
when you told me suddenly, like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I just sold my house 1 week ago.
Yeah.
And I'm owning this
We closed
place
in 10 days.
in 10 days.
Yeah.
So
And
we
it-
wanted to feel smooth, like.
It was incredibly smooth. I mean, fortunately, the previous sellers had done their own inspection already, so that saved a bunch of
Yeah.
time. And I think you and I came back to this property like 4 or 5, maybe 6 times. Every time I had guests come visit me, we had to come to this property and I had to show them the view from the roof. But yeah, the whole process was really easy. I mean, the escrow was easy. I mean, I just transferred the funds directly from my bank to the escrow company, which was very simple. And then closing here in Mexico is much different than in California, because you sit at a desk with the sellers, and I get to meet the sellers in person.
Yeah.
All the realtors are there, the notaries are, and they read everything out to you, and it's like a ceremony, and it was very different than the very transactional that it is in the United States, which just made it more special here because I got to meet the owners, and I actually kind of became friends with them, and we message back and forth and have questions, and it's just that is just a community here in San Miguel. So the real estate process is the same as a community here. It's very everybody just kind of helps each other out, and it's much more personal here than it is in the United States.
What was your impression as an American real estate broker? Because the emotional part is what you just described, but the technical, obviously, uh, you were obviously rational and intentional. And how did you feel like, for example, moving the money, the funds, is a big step. How did you feel, or what can you tell us about first the contract, the structure that we have, and what how similar it is to selling or buying in
It
the
was
USA?
it was a lot. I found it was a lot easier. The purchase contract had all the escrow information in there, so when I needed to wire my money, it was all right there, and I simply wired it. But when I wired it, it went to an escrow company who I hadn't met. But then when I came and we had our closing, you got to meet everybody: the notary, the person who interpreted the contract and read the entire contract, the seller's buyer, the seller's agent, and it was just a very complete process. Again, very different than United States. United States is very, I wouldn't say unfriendly, it's very transactional. Me as an agent, or as a listing agent, I didn't even go to my closings. Everything was done. Mobile notaries go to your house, sign, they're done. It's just very non-personal. Where here, it's very personal. You're selling your home and you're giving your home to another person, and another person is taking over your home, and it's a very personal transaction. And yet at the same time, it's very smooth. So it's just different here in Mexico. Mexico is just more personal. There's more hands-on. There's more people involved, which I liked.
Yes.
Of course, I got to meet the sellers. I got to meet the seller's agent every single time we came and looked at the home. Porgy had to come, and they were super friendly also.
Yes, very nice.
And in my situation, fortunately, everybody spoke English also, so that made it very helpful and very easy. But yeah, the real estate transaction here in Mexico is it's a lot more personal.
Yes, you have full ownership. You didn't have to have like ownership through a trust like they have to do on the beach in Mexico, because that's a restriction.
Right. Yeah, I know. Here you own fee simple, just like
you
the
already
United States.
have your deed, and well, that is very simple. Thinking about two steps behind. In the meantime, when you were coming to San Miguel de Allende, that's when we worked with Sonia, actually, the permit.
Yep.
So you have your residency, which was easy.
Yep.
It took time, so it's important for people to know that that is actually what can take the longer, like 3 months.
And that was, for me,
3 months.
It was very important to have at least my temporary residency. We're not all expats who own homes in San Miguel have residency here. Some are just here on tourist visas, and then they have to leave and then come back. And I just wanted to feel safe and secure. Getting my temporary residency in Sacramento was difficult. Not difficult, it was difficult getting the appointment online. It took 4 months to get the appointment. And I tried Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, Fresno, all kinds of places. When I finally got my appointment, the appointment actually went relatively smooth because I was very organized on my paper. But then working with Sonia Diaz over here, literally I never met her in person until my appointment. And we just worked online, and she was phenomenal.
She's very responsive.
So phenomenal. And then when I got to the residency place, I got my visa on Friday in the United States. I emailed it to her. Monday, when I came here, I had my appointment. And literally an hour and a half, I had my temporary residency card. We're doing good?
Yeah, we're still good.
I had my temporary residency card, and I was a resident. And that was the first time I met Sonia. She opened the back hatch of her car, and her whole office was there. Everything was printed out. And I went in there, and it's like, I almost didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't have to. I just handled my paperwork, and she did everything. Incredible. So if anybody's looking for somebody on this side to help with temporary residency or any kind of those, Sonia Diaz is definitely the person to go to.
We wanted to be strategic on that move, with that movement, with good timing, because actually that is what allowed us to do the closing very fast.
And I did both simultaneously. I mean, once I met with you and decided, yeah, this is going to be my future home, that's when I started my temporary residency.
Yes.
And I'm so glad I started it early because, like I said, it took about 4 months on the United States side. Here, a couple hours.
Yeah.
But again, I wanted to be a resident. I didn't want to be on a tourist visa. And when mine expires in October this year, I'm going to go for permanent residency, and
Which is
so I
the
don't have
right
to
thing
deal with
to
that
do.
every year. Yeah.
Which is what I always suggest my
Yeah.
clients to do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like things are easier when they're done the right way.
Yep.
And then we also had to. There's this permit that you need to pay in order to
Yep.
that we. Well, you paid through the legal specialist from the notary, which was very easy. The
Right.
notary, they were really fast on their stuff. Or what do you think about the notary?
And see, that whole process is very different than the United States. So I'm so grateful that I had you to hold my hand and walk me through it all, basically, because yeah, it made it so much easier because we did that in advance and you knew exactly what needed to be done in order to close in 10 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, so fortunately for you, you handled all that. I mean, you directed me and we did it and it was done. And so yeah, closing just was very, very smooth with zero hiccups throughout the whole process. Much easier than it was in the United States. Definitely much easier in the United States. In the United States, I was my fingernails the whole transaction until it was done, until the money was transferred. We're here, zero stress,
And
literally
what
zero
about
stress.
with the transfer of the price? Also came the transfer of the expenses, right? The taxes and
Yeah,
what do
closing
you think
costs.
about that? The closing cost, was it expensive? Was it good?
You know, I think the closing costs in Mexico are a little bit more than they are in the United States. But you have to pay for permits here and different things. Where in the United States, you don't. In the United States, the buyers typically have more closing costs than the seller. But here, well, I was a buyer also, but I didn't have a loan, and the fees were still a little bit more expensive. But the process was very easy, and
Yeah, which it was around 3%, right?
Yeah.
The expenses.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and what else would you like to add, especially for those Americans who are in the process, who are maybe hesitant about making the move? Because this was very, very different. You being a real estate broker, you chose us from the internet and you work with us. So,
You
what
know,
would be your final thoughts?
honestly, the most important thing for me was meeting a realtor who I could sit down with, our first breakfast together, and explain to you what I'm looking for, what I want. I'm brand new to this country. I don't know a whole lot. And you just took it and ran with it and made that process so easy. Because every time I came back and we met to go look at houses, you showed me the houses that I wanted. Because finding homes on the MLS here in San Miguel is difficult. You have to go to different places and not everything is listed. And it's challenging. You made it so easy because you knew what I wanted. You knew what I was looking for. You knew the style, a colonial style I wanted. You knew my price range. And I just relied on you and you showed me homes. And this wasn't the first home that I looked at. This is maybe the third one, but this became like all the other homes compared to this one. This was the best home, I guess. And we looked at other homes and I saw things I liked about other homes and stuff, but I just kept coming back to this one. And you knew what I wanted and you knew this was the house for me. And I'm so grateful that when I did go into contract, I was kind of hesitant. Let me close that one. And you're like, Scott, it might go. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to follow your advice. And I'm so grateful that I did, especially now that I live in this home. And
Yeah.
every once in a while, I mean, it's only been 3.5 weeks that I've actually lived in here, but every once in a while I look around like, oh my God, this is mine. And this is exactly what I wanted. And I'm so happy here. And I'm so grateful to you that you found this for me. Even though the other homes that we looked at, I thought, yeah, this could work. No, now I look back, it's like, yeah, those homes were cool, but this is the one I wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you knew that because I was going through all the emotional, turmoil of selling my home in California. And you just kind of took care of everything on this side for me, which made it so much easier. And, and you being a realtor here, knowing when properties come on the market and the values of the homes and what they have to offer. Yeah, I look back and what I paid for this home and what I got, the courtyard and the rooftop, I'm super, super
Thank
happy.
you, Scott. I'm very honored. Thank you for choosing me. I'm very honored to be
Absolutely.
part of your life, this process, and now we're also friends. So
Absolutely.
It's an honor. Thank you so much.
It's an honor for me, coming to a whole new country and finding an amazing realtor who became an amazing friend
No.
on top of it. I mean,
No.
I did real estate for 20 years and, it was transactional for me and I loved it, but I didn't necessarily make friends with all my clients. So I appreciate becoming friends with you because you're an amazing person, besides being an amazing agent.
So would you like to show us your house?
Sure,
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat organized, but yeah, absolutely.
All right.